the heck do I think I am? Why in the heck do I think I deserve to get paid for what I do? How did I get the audacity to say no? Hey everybody, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Amy. I am a witch and stuff. On this channel, we talk about witchcraft, spirituality, and whatever I feel like talking about at the time, or whatever my patrons feel like I should talk about at the time. Before I get into this video, I just want to take a quick second to thank my Patreon supporters for being there for me, for supporting me on Patreon, and also for supporting my endeavors as a witch, and for being such good friends all the way around. I might not actually be doing this anymore if it wasn't for you. So thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Today I want to talk about the concept of equal exchange and why witches deserve to be paid for their witchery. This topic came up because I do occasionally get emails, comments, and DMs from people asking for step-by-step guidance, personal mentoring, or if I will teach them all of my ways. I'm not in any way coming from a conceited place. I'm filming this because I think y'all need to hear it, especially if you are headed in any sort of professional direction and are helping people with your craft, but also because I need to hear it and I need to be reminded. At least half of the people who message me are asking me for free things. They want free spells or free advice or free classes or free mentoring or free books and the tricky thing about this is that I used to give advice and help people without any expectation of an exchange. They were usually just friends or acquaintances, people who came to me who knew me personally and asked for a little bit of help. It didn't happen very often, and usually I regretted helping without the recipient putting in any of the work themselves. Since I do take clients for psychic readings, healing sessions, and things like that, I know it's not up on my website yet, but I am working on it. There's technical, legal things. I want to make sure that everybody is comfortable and doesn't think that they're getting scammed, because that's a thing, and we will talk about that later. When I was first learning, I did a lot of things for free as a way of gaining more insight, power, and experience. And it was something that I did just because I loved it, and I was honestly just stoked anytime somebody wanted me to read their tarot. I have been doing witchcraft and psychic readings for a while now. I have been a practicing witch for more than a decade. There's no such thing as a certification for a professional witch. And I do not have a spiritual healer's license yet. That is something that I'm working on. If a person messages me and they want free resources, usually they found me via YouTube. And I need to just say that YouTube is my free resource. YouTube is what I put most of my time and effort into. It is the thing that I do because I love it and because I want to help people. I want to help people. I do not say no because I don't want people to succeed or because I want them to fail or I don't want them to learn. I say no because I have to. I can make a video and I can put it out and I can take requests and I can try to cover topics that you guys find interesting or helpful. YouTube itself is the thing that takes up the majority of my spare time. Everybody knows that time is money, and I know that that is a touchy subject, and I'm not like a big YouTuber. That's not really why I'm here. I'm here because I wanted to be able to share the information and the learning that I have and hopefully help at least one person to bypass some of the pain that I went through in order to learn these things. Witchcraft requires effort. You have to be willing to learn. If you're not willing to learn and put in the time and practice, like I said, more than a decade, worth of practice for me, and there are many, many others who've been at it their whole lives. If you're not going to put in the time and the effort, then witchcraft isn't for you. If you want somebody to do something for you, then you need to pay them. You don't get free electrical service or plumbing or yoga classes or free college classes. You don't get free art, music, or dance lesson. Everything has a price. And unfortunately, that is because we live in a commerce-driven world. People have to have money to survive. Some people are fortunate enough to be able to use their craft or their YouTube or the thing that they love, that they're passionate about, as their job and to pay the bills. But they wouldn't do that if they didn't have clients who paid them for their time. And they wouldn't be able to do that if they didn't have patrons or some other platform where they were able to make money on what they were putting their time and energy into. This is the physical reality. I'm not even talking about the spiritual laws yet. I am in a much better situation than a lot of people, and I'm very thankful for where I am. I'm really just trying to get to the reality of the situation, which is that YouTube is my free resource. The books that I wrote that I have on Amazon and Kindle, I spent a lot of time working on, and I only sell them for a couple of dollars. These books took me months, and that is part of the reason why I haven't written anymore. There is work that goes into writing a book. Similarly, there is work that goes into doing a reading, creating a course, or teaching somebody witchcraft. I choose to do YouTube because I want to be able to share with as many people as I possibly can. I want my videos to have value. I don't want to sit here and just go on about things and have you walk away and not have learned anything. That isn't why I'm here. I am so thankful for those of you who support me. I'm so thankful for those of you who have bought my books, who have encouraged me to create a course, which I have not published yet, but I am working on it. And for those of you who are supporting me on Patreon. Part of the reason why I'm making this video is to remind myself that what I do has value, and to remind you that what you do has value. It doesn't matter what it is that you do. If you are a landscaper or a dog walker or a copywriter or anything at all, you need to be getting compensated fairly for your time. It is essential, especially now, that we do not give of ourselves for nothing, because in the end that will lead to burnout and mental and emotional exhaustion, which is another way of saying burnout. But there is also a spiritual law that goes with this. It is the concept of equal exchange. The idea is that if I perform a spell for somebody without anything in return from them, no effort or energy or money or something from that person, then I am devaluing the work that I am doing, and my spell will not be as effective. Not only will it not be as effective, it could actually turn on me. It might not work at all. There is spiritual value in respecting the work that you do and respecting your time and your energy and what you're putting into it. Imagine that I ask you to do a spell and it is a really intense and it takes a month. Imagine that you have to work this spell 3 times a week for a month, and it takes you a few hours every time. So a few hours, say 5 hours, 3 times a week for a month. That's 15, 30, 60 hours. That's more than a work week. Then imagine that person says, I can't pay you, or I won't pay you, or whatever, but thank you so much for doing this. You are essentially saying that the work that you are doing is worthless, that it's not worth anything. You wouldn't ask a deity to come and help you with your request if you didn't have an offering to give them. You wouldn't do it. It would turn out badly for you no matter what. And this is a similar concept. If you want something from somebody, it is your ethical responsibility to give them something in return. And when you're dealing with a sort of witch-client relationship, it is really important to keep those boundaries. I have to do that. I really wish that I could have a classroom of witches that I could teach, and that would be all that I did with my time. Well, not all of it.
Beautiful. Oh, bless him, look, he knows his mummy.
I guess I've just been feeling a little bit down about having to say no to people, about not having enough time for people, and about people reaching out their hands and asking for things and not being willing to even put in the effort of doing their own research and finding out if these are things that they can even learn on their own. I truly believe that if a person wants to learn something, they will learn it. And the thing that I've been trying to remind myself and remind others lately is that I did teach myself. I am still learning. Every day I am still learning. I do not have all the answers. I only know what I know, and I only practice the way that I practice. I'm here to offer you a subjective opinion on the sorts of things that I'm really passionate about. I'm super nerdy about spirituality and witchcraft and stuff. I love it so much, and I just wanted to be able to share that with people. It's still a free resource for you. Use the resource, please. Or do a quick Google search, because if you're using Instagram to DM me, I know that you have access to Google. While it's not fun and it's not always reliable and it does take work, in the end, the only way that you're going to succeed as a witch is by putting in the work. Period. And you have to value yourself enough to be willing to do that as well. Asking me to tell you how to do everything is still not going to make you proficient in it. I don't say that to make you feel bad. I say that because I'm trying to honor the rule of equal exchange. And since we're talking about paying witches to do things for you, I do want to alert you to the possibility that people could be scamming you. Please never pay somebody for witchcraft if you don't have some way to prove that they're actually doing the thing for you. And please always do a gut check. Use your best judgment when you're deciding if you're actually going to pay somebody for a spell. Spell work varies widely in price range. It does come down to experience, and it also comes down to the time and effort and materials. The person who is doing the spell for you has to devote their time, which is money. If you think about it at an hourly rate, every hour a person is working on a spell for you, the money is accruing. There are also materials that person usually purchases or creates themselves. Then there is also the magical energy that goes into a person's own energy. It takes a piece of that person's life force to work your spell. Try to be fair with people when you are paying them to do a service for you. But if you think that something is too expensive and it looks like it could be a scam, and you don't have any proof that this person actually exists because they contacted you over the internet, or they're spamming you, or they're giving you reasons why they can't finish your working until after you send them some lump amount of money in a really sketchy way, just please use your better judgment, because scams do exist. Scam artists will take advantage of anybody who doesn't understand how sleazy the internet can be. They will especially take advantage of people who are desperate, people who are in pain, people who are young, people who are older, anybody who is in any sort of compromised position. I've been scammed. I've been scammed a few times. I get spam all the time. People try to scam me. And when it comes down to it, you need to research the person that you are considering working with before you put time and money into this person, especially if the dollar amount seems off to you, or if the way they're communicating seems off to you. I want you guys to be safe. Please. Never give your personal information to somebody that you don't know. Never pay for something that you're not going to see a return on. Value yourself and value the practitioner that you are making the request of. Honor the law of equal exchange. The universe has a way of making us stick to our ethics. What goes around comes around. If you take something, you have to give something in return. That is the way it works. When I have prices for readings and spell work and sessions and things like that, all sorted out, I will let you guys know. I will send out an email to my email list. If you are not on my email list, there is a link below. Patrons get 30% off of all of my services, except potentially the books that I sell through Kindle, because I'm not really sure how to do that. I promise I'll let you guys know. Life hasn't allowed me to hang out my shingle yet. It is a dream of mine, and I do plan to do it at some point, but I have to do it carefully and legally to protect you and to protect me and to respect the exchange of energy. So I hope that this wasn't offensive, and I hope that you understand that this video is coming from a good place and from something that I have been struggling with a lot lately and just couldn't ignore anymore. Please understand that I hope the best for you, and I really do want to help you learn. If you want to learn about how I practice witchcraft and the things that I do with spirituality and stuff, check out my channel. The rest of it, it's a lot of fun. We do talk about vampirism, blood magic, elemental magic, and the basic concepts that go into starting out as a witch. If this video didn't offend you and you're interested in that stuff, then subscribe. Like the video, share it with somebody that you think will benefit from it, and I will talk to y'all later. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you have a blessed and beautiful day.